Hello and welcome back. Okay, so I know I have done this series before, but not like this. So, as of last year, Scion Games decided to make a full remake of Myst, and it is really, really good. They did really, really good with this remake. They just redid the entire game from scratch with on the Unreal Engine. It looks amazing, and I decided, yeah, I know I did Myst in the past. I did the whole Myst series from Myst 1 all the way to Myst 5, but I downloaded this essentially Myst remake, and it is amazing. But I just want to do it because it's just really, really good. I decided, why not do a series like revisiting Myst, but in the new age, where it's all like looks really nice, really cool looking. But anyway, hi, I am Iron Mustache. Welcome to my channel. If you are a returning viewer, then hello, and if you are here for the first time, hello to you too. In the meantime, sit back, relax, popcorn, hit the like, subscribe button, and that little bell icon thingy, so where you always know that my videos will be coming up on your feed, and you'll never miss one of my videos. In the meantime, we are going to be going with the Myst 2021 remake. Trust me, it's good. You're going to love it, and we're going to get right into it, because that's what I do, and I just do whatever I want, because this is my channel, and I like to have fun. In the meantime, let's get right into it. Alright, so yes, here we are. We are in Myst. I'm going to start a new game. Alright, start a new game will clear the autosave from your previous game. Yep, I know. Alright, so now you have an option here. You can go the classic 1993 mode, where all the puzzles are going to be exactly the same from the original release 1993. But for this video, I'm going to go randomized. Yes. That means that the trying to figure out the puzzle clues and all that is going to be completely different. You're gonna have to actually go around the whole game and figure out everything. It's not shouldn't be too difficult. Alright. So also what's really, really cool about this game is it actually is VR compatible. So if you want to, you could literally play Myst now in VR. I wish I had a VR headset so I can do that, because that sounds like super duper fun. The big difference between the classic and the original, besides the graphic update, is, of course, original Myst did green screen capture, where actors would be like, but now they're like 3D rendered characters now. It's not too bad looking. I mean, compared to how they looked in Myst 5, it looked kind of weird, but honestly, I think this one's not too bad with the character designs and all that. Honestly, I think the character design for Atris and Akinar and Sierra is not horrible. It's how the 3D rendering characters in Myst 5 wasn't the best, but then again, it was the time that game came out. That was what the technology was. So honestly, this one, the 3D rendering with the characters isn't horrible, but the newly designed landscapes and some of the ages looks really freaking good, in my opinion. Look at this, how very well detailed they honestly they did great. So I think honestly they did really, really, really good. And of course, you can start off like any Myst game, or at least start off like normal. Flick the switches. Of course, I remember how it might have been in 1993 when the game first came out. People will forever trying to figure out what the hell these switches are for. They're just like, what's this switch do? But after a good few years, people just really, really go into the game, figuring out the ins and outs of just about everything. And so we're going to start off by flicking most of these switches, at least the switches we can get to. Won't be able to get to that one just yet for a little while. But in the meantime, we'll just do the switches. Alright, so now, let's see. I am going to start with going to... I'll start off with Channelwood. Channelwoods ain't too bad. Okay. So we are going to worry about those bastardos later. Of course, it's just like any Myst game. Very... Oh, wait, hold on. Let me go to the map here. And I'm going to switch it over to about there. That should be my way to get right into Channelwood. Okay. Or, that's going to give me my clue to get myself into Channelwood. So, good times for everybody. And, of course, like I said, all of the clues are going to be different. There's a lot of very big differences within, like, the game itself. Besides the designs of the levels, things are going to be slightly different. Okay, so 218. Okay. So 218, that is going to be the thing. So 218, okay. So we're going to come down here. Come on down. Gotta come on down. So all the puzzles are going to be completely randomized, which is pretty fun. The game, for the most part, will be... A lot of it will be the same, but things will be slightly different. So, okay, so I'm going to go 218. So that's the code we need here, 218, and then pop that open. So in the original Myst, there would be like a matchbox in here. But now, what we have is a igniter switch. And, of course, things will crank that up. Crank it all the way as far as it goes. That's the fun part. That is definitely the fun part. I try to crank it up as much as possible. Alright, so I'm going to let the our entrance to Channelwood go up as much as possible. Alright, so now we got that going. So I gotta crank it down just enough to where, like, it's gonna start coming down. Oh, gotta make a run for it. Okay. So yeah. So when you're going into Channelwood, of course, you're gonna want to make a run for it. That way you could just easily get in there. And Channelwood is actually very, very simple. Not a whole lot you have to figure out to get in and out of Channelwood. So that's going to be the fun part. Let's go all the way down. Alright, so now let's see. We are going to go into Channelwood. Alright, very simple. Very, very simple. So, not much is different about getting yourself around Channelwood over here when you're doing a randomized mode. It's more of like the puzzles. Some of the puzzles are very, very randomized, and it's you got to really, really go throughout the game and figure them out. But for the most part, it's very, 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 very simple to figure out. If you know, like, Myst quite well, it shouldn't be very, very difficult to try to figure out your way around these ages. Channelwood is definitely a very simple one. Very, very simple. Just kind of do what you've done before in the original 93 release of Myst, and yeah, go from there. Alright, so first things first is we're going to need to do a little bit of switching and water switching over here, which is quite easy to take care of. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna go flow that way. And I'm gonna flow that way. Build myself a little bridge over here. I wouldn't say there's any specific order you would need to complete each age. You can pretty much go in whatever order you want, as long as you are able to get the red and blue pages for the red and blue books. That is part of the end game over here. Is to get them pages. So now we have that taken care of. That's always like when I do Channelwood, that's usually like one of the big things I always go for first. Very simple, not anything super duper difficult going on there. Alright, so I'm going to run back over this way. Okay, so now, okay, so we got the water flow going from there. And now I'm going to have it go over that way. And, okay, I'm going to switch this over that way. And, okay, perfect, okay. Now, see, very, very simple. Very simple. And that should get my... So what you need, essentially, like with Channelwood, is you have to just guide the water flow to go certain directions, to be able to make specific things function. So, very simple. Nothing super duper difficult to figure out there. Okay, so now we're on top part of these trees, and then all you have to really do here is navigate your way through the trees, or the tree huts, I guess you can call them tree huts. First things first is I need to find a very, very specific... Ah, there it is, okay. Click that switch, and that is going to open up a magical door. Because magical doors are fun, so yeah. And also you can sprint in the game. You know, instead of doing the normal walking, you do have the benefit of sprinting, which is really nice. It does save a bit of time if you ever need to. Alright, so now we got that door opened up, because we wouldn't be able to get it open up anyway unless we switch that switch, because now we have to come down here. And wow, look at the pretty detail of the trees and the water and all that. Love it, love it. Okay, so now, so yeah, this one is going to be very, very simple. Also, what's really nice about this remake is Old Myst, you pretty much would have to go through an age, grab one of the pages, the red or blue page, then you have to go back in it to be able to get the other page. But the really, really, really nice thing is now you no longer have to do that. You can literally just grab both pages at once instead of having to go in there, grab one page, and then go back and grab the other one. So what's really nice is you don't have to do that anymore, which is really, really nice. It does save you a little bit of time. But honestly, I think they did a phenomenal job with comes to the updated graphics and all that. Honestly, I think they did great. Okay, so first I'm gonna go over here, and I think the red page is over here. So this would be one of Cirrus's magical pages, and of course, so you can grab that page, and it just goes right into your thing. And of course, there's like the little clues you can find like that, which, and of course, if you've done Myst, yep, you would very much know what that's going to entail. Look, a little knife. Can't get the knife though. Yep, because there's no death, there's no fighting, there's, you know, in this game, it's just good old casual puzzle fun, with some very rich story. I'm trying to see if I could. Okay. Alright, so of course when I say like, yeah, I mean, I would say the 3D rendering graphics, not too bad looking. Alright. Oh, jeez. Of course, that's Akinar over there, which we're not going to worry about that. Alright, so here's the... See, I no longer have to go back and forth, and of course, just like all the classic Myst games, is you click on it, and
I hope I've the right button.
so yeah, it's very much, very much like the classic, little bit different. Of course, you can play it in randomized puzzle mode, and I mean, graphically, I think they did great. So we're going to, so now that I actually do have both pages, for Cirrus and Akinar, very simple. See, that's all you gotta do. Very simple. So it's like, just make sure you get the water flow and the pipes going the certain ways. That way, it can, the elevators can properly function. So very simple and okay. And of course, we're gonna get out of Channelwood as soon as I get down there. And of course, so if you want the water flow indication says going that way, and you switch it. Now it's gonna block off going that way, and it's gonna go that way. All right. So we can do the same with this one. Let's see. Do I want it to go that way? Yep, seems about right. Let's see. Yep, that seems about right. And I'm gonna have it flow that way. All right. So yeah, it's all about just making sure the water flows goes well. The water flow goes in the direction you need it to go. Very simple. Extremely simple. Very simple. So now that engine thingy is running, so that way I know I can get the heck out of here. Yep, that's it. Channelwood is very simple. Not super difficult, super duper easy, pretty simple, but it's lovely. Very lovely. Okay, so now we got that. Now we get the Myst book back to Myst Island. Very simple. Let's wait till it loads. Okay. So now we got at least 2 pages. I'm gonna put a page there. I'm gonna wait until much later to do that. And of course, there is also just like the original Myst, and there is a gravestone. Whose grave that is? Oh, that's the mystery. Of course, there's the note. If you played original Myst, there's the note. Catherine, I left for you a message of utmost importance. An awful chamber besides the dock and the number of marker switches on this island. Use the imager to retrieve the message. Yours, Atris. Alright. So, of course, original Myst, that's one thing you can do, is get the message from Atris, to Catherine from Atris message. So to do that bit of fun, of course, like original Myst, open up the thingy, and I think it would be H switches, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, excuse me. Yep, So, yep. So, there is the secret message. Not much of a secret anymore, since we all know about it.
Books have been destroyed. Catherine, it's I suspect. But I shouldn't leap to conclusions. Find him and Sirius as well. I should have known not to conduct the library unchecked for so long. I've removed the remaining undamaged books from the library and placed them in the places of protection. I shouldn't have to use the books until I return, but if you forgot, access key, the tower rotation, and don't worry, Catherine. Everything will be fine. See you shortly. Oh, and erase this message after you feel it, just to be safe.
And of course, if you kind of know a little bit of the lore with Myst, Sirius and Akinor being little pasty little brats, just wanting all the power they can have, but to portray their father Atris, trapped Atris in a Dunny prison, which is where you will eventually will find Atris towards the end if you do get that good ending. Actually, we'll do a couple videos at the end where I'll do like a video of the good ending and the bad endings. There's like at least one good ending, 3 bad endings. So I'll do all those endings. I'll do like a little bit of like alternate ending stuff. Should be fun. But in the meantime, you can just kind of look around and see like the big differences. Like they've made some pretty good looking sky. The water just looks really, really good. I like the look of that water. Very pretty. Nice little grass detail. The rocks look cool. Everything looks pretty cool. So that pretty much. And of course, you have the books here. So we went in the Channelwood, so you can look into the Channelwood book. I have called this age Channelwood, and it is a very different world, though it is exactly how I imagined it. It is still amazing to see it with my own eyes. Water covers this age as far as I can see, except for a small rocky island. Elsewhere, there are only trees, which grow directly out of the water. A myriad of thin wooden passageways are built just above the water and disappear into the forest. I assume they were built some time ago for they appeared aged. I'm eager to discover more about this land and its people, but I have arrived here late, and I must rest. I was awakened this morning by strange noises coming from a pathway adjacent to the one on which I had slept. I saw a group of monkey-like people heading into my direction. They had not seen me yet. I did not feel threatened by their presence. Their response to me was one that I would have never expected. After staring at me for a short time, they fell to their knees and began with what appeared to be some sort of ceremonial worship. I tried to speak to them, but they did not understand my language. Instead, they indicated through enthusiastic hand motions that I was to follow them. As we walked, I began to notice that the waters below us were changing colors. Slowly, subtly, they would change from deep blue to muddy orange, then from muddy orange to beautifully clear. I was so intrigued by the water, I hardly noticed that we had arrived at a ladder. Climbing the ladder led us to their village, which is about 10 meters above the water and can only be reached by rope ladders that stretch from the lower pass to the village level, approximately halfway up to the grand trees. It is very interesting watching these people carry out their daily tasks. Even after watching them for hours, I didn't understand exactly what they were doing. At sunset, they motioned me for me to follow them. I followed the creatures to the doorway of an enormous hut. Strangely, once inside, I found that the hut appeared even larger than it had from the outside. The walls were garnished with bright metals, and in the center of the hut sat the leader of these people. At least he appeared to be their leader, for he sat a meter off the floor in a thick throne. Guards surrounded the strong creature, who was dressed in many exotic, colorful fabrics. Next to the leader sat a very old human. At least to some extent he appears human. His hair, which was only on his face and head, was completely gray, almost white, and hung very long around his frail body. His thin head hung limply by an almost grotesque neck I could not hold its head up to look at me. But what a surprise! This creature could speak my language. Shortly thereafter, I was given a bed with some hand motions that looked to be telling me to go to sleep. I look forward to learning more. As I expected, the ancient creature is a human, but he is old beyond his own reckoning, and seems almost insane. However, the tree dwellers almost revere him as a god. They are treating me now in the same fashion, which makes me feel very uncomfortable. It is almost impossible to understand this old man. His voice is feeble but wild. He has adopted much of the language of the tree dwellers. He himself told me he had not spoken our own tongue in ages. He attempted to explain to me the history of this place. The following is my best translation of what he told me. Many years ago, the humans and tree dwellers lived together in this place, which was then a vast island. They interacted very little. The humans dwelt on the ground, and the tree dwellers lived high above the humans. Occasionally, the island was disturbed by mysterious rumblings, which happened randomly. Some sort of tectonic or volcanic action, I suspect. The sometimes slight, sometimes heavy tremors would only last a short time. Then they would stop, allowing everything to return to normal. One day, things changed. The rumbling began and grew quickly in unprecedented levels. Soon, it became apparent that the entire island was sinking slowly into the ocean around them. Many of the humans died that way, but not before sacrificing themselves in order to stop the sinking of the island. The humans who lived through this catastrophe moved into the trees, where they gradually died out. Maybe because they were unequipped for such an environment, but I am not sure. This is the story the old man communicated to me, although many details are very unclear in my mind. I am especially confused as to how the humans saved the island from completely sinking. In fact, I doubt the accuracy of that part of the story. The island must have stopped on its own. Yet the old man believes in the truth of the story as if he had been there, and the tree dwellers worship him. And apparently all humans as if they were heroes or gods. The old man ended our conversation today with an event which I will never forget. He began gripping my hands tightly, murmuring something about rest and asleep, and then he said, "We had expected you to come sooner." These actions filled me with such an immediate dread. With much effort, he stood to his feet. I tried to help him, but he pushed me away with more force than I imagined his frail body contained. The tree dwellers quietly surrounded him with very solemn faces. They then kneeled before him. He walked to each and placed his hand on their heads. All the while, he murmured words which I did not understand. Finally, he turned to me and smiled. Then he closed his eyes and walked off the door and off into the narrow path, high into the trees. The tree dwellers were silent. They began the procession down the nearest rope ladder. As I was descending, I saw several of them pick up the body. He had fallen onto a lower level of walkway and carried away. He was laying down at the dead end of a short pier-like structure. With the use of some potion, one of the tree creatures lit up the pier on fire and watched him as the flames engulfed him. As the strange funeral proceeded, the waters around the pier changed to a dull green. This morning I awoke, finding it hard to even believe the previous evening's events. The waters are dull green for as far as I can see now. For some reason, the water no longer shifts color. As I wandered throughout the pathways, the creatures watched me, curious to see what I would do next. They are constantly offering me strange objects of affection. I even found food outside the doorway in the room I had slept. This is a unique race of beings. I hope to learn their language soon, so that I may learn more from them. I have lived on for this world 3 months off and on, and the tree dwellers have shown great hospitality. I am even getting to learn bits of their language. I have decided to return home for an extended stay with my loving wife and my sons, and hopefully return with them. However, I am sure Catherine will once again refuse. I think this age would be a wonderful experience for them all, and I, at least look forward to how Circe and Achenar will react to its curious inhabitants. Catherine is staying behind, as expected. My sons have returned with me, and they enjoyed this age very much. They get along very well with the tree dwellers, and are picking up their language surprisingly fast. I have no doubt that it will not be too long until they can speak within the tree dwellers much better than myself. I am leaving tomorrow to check on Osmodian age. Sirius has suggested I allow him and his brother to stay, though the idea unsettles me. I know the boys are growing up rapidly. The hospitality of these creatures is such that I could think of no better place to leave them alone for a short while. So I will consent to the request. I warn the boys not to take advantage of the respect of the tree dwellers have for their ideas. They seem to understand my warning. I have faith they will follow it. Much to my dismay, upon arriving in Everdunes, I learned that Pran and her people are continuing to be menaced by the Chotic. I fear for their survival and plan on returning to her shortly. After checking on Sirius and Achenar here, see Evidence Journal for more information. Okay. After watching Sirius and Achenar, I see they are handling things very well. I think I can put to rest any fears about leaving them in Channelwood again. And for a little longer time. The Cheetos seem slightly distressed that I am leaving, but are happy that Sirius and Achenar are staying behind again. I have been gone for over 3 days. It had been too many different places. I had to tell Sirius and Achenar about Pran's death today. They were visibly shaken, although they only remember her from their childhood. Catherine has suggested that I would be wise for Sirius and Achenar to leave Channelwood for a while, and I have to agree. They will be returning with me when I leave again. I have told my sons they will be returning with me in 2 days. They spent the entire night telling me of an adventure they experienced in my absence. It was rather remarkable. It seems they constructed a boat with some creatures and traveled some ways out into the resounding waters. I enjoy hearing them talking excitedly of their adventures, and am reminded of my own adventures as a child. I finally understand why the tree dwellers have been giving me their mini inks and insisting I write with them. Looking through some of my past entries, I see now that my inks have changed from the black I thought they were to various different colors. I have shown some of the creatures my journal, and they laughed and howled. I did not know they had such a sense of humor. Even now I would look through this very colorful journal. I cannot help but laugh myself. We will be returning tomorrow, so my sons are with the creatures for the last night here. They have told me they would like to come to Channelwood again, and also ask if they can visit some other ages alone, though I will have to think over their requests. I believe they have proven to me that they are trustworthy and responsible. Catherine will also have to help me decide whether they are ready for travel alone. For now, I must give my farewell to the creatures, for I do not know how long it will be until I visit this age again. And of course, looking through here, you can see how gives you an idea of the bridges for the pathways of Channelwood and all that. So yeah, that's a nice little thing there. Also read into the secrets of the ages. But in the meantime, I'm going to save my game here real quick. Okay, and yep. Alright, so that should do me some good. And in the meantime, I'll be right with you. So yeah, that is the part of the 2021 remake of Myst. I'm just going to do a whole series of this, and of course I'm going to do the alternate endings, because there's at least 4 different endings you can do. Or just do all that. But as you can see, yes, they did a full, from scratch remake of the original Myst, and in my opinion, I think it looks amazing. And the fact that you can actually play it in VR, which that sounds super duper fun. I just don't have a VR headset to do that, but I just think the way they completely remade it from the original, in my opinion, I think it looks really, really, really good. But that's just me. That's just my opinion. But anyway, Iron Mario Mustache, I really hope you enjoy this one. And of course, I am going to do more of this because you get more into the other ages, it's just like, oh, wow, this looks amazing. And in the meantime, I would hope you hit the like and subscribe button. Be really, really great if you could, and hit that bell icon so you always know about when my videos will be coming up and all that. And other than that, I will say to all you get a wonderful, gorgeous, sexy people, adios. See you in the next one. Now get out of here.